That's a good idea.
So the main points of safety are you want to make sure that there's something called the shoulder height rule. So if your dog is jumping over something onto a soft surface or jumping off of something, as long as it's shoulder height or lower, it can be on a hard surface. If it's double that height, then it has to be a soft surface.
Yeah.
And then you also have to make modifications for the age of your dogs. Like Drax and Pepper are really young dogs. They're appropriate weight. They don't have any medical issues. So if your dog is older or is recovering from an injury, or if you have a puppy who doesn't have, who's under a year and a half old, you want to modify it, and you'll go either shoulder height or lower for those dogs, like whatever seems appropriate for them. And then another safety thing that we think about for parkour is choice. So we'll train behaviors, but also anytime our dogs refuse something, it's totally fine, and that can look like anything, like sniffing, walking away, doing something different. And that's a safety feature, because they can't tell us like, oh, I'm getting tired, or this is getting too hard. We have to look at their behavior. And so refusal of an object is something that we actually reinforce with those dogs, because we want them to be, they're not like, I brought this stuff out for examples of like how to train it, but parkour really shines like out in the world when you're just doing trees and stones and at the beach and in the wild places. So for that reason, you really want your dog, you want to check the objects that they're interacting with, and then let them choose to say no, and that makes a thinking dog. So I don't know what Ziggy is like. He looks like a thoughtful dog, but yeah, some of them, like Pepper and Drax, are kind of like bulldozers. If we point at something, they're likely to just hurl themselves at it. And so they're the kind of dogs that we want to teach them how to think about the objects that they're interacting with, whereas a thoughtful dog, it's more about building confidence and letting them choose whether they want to do it or not is a confidence builder, because then they feel safe trying it because they know they don't have to do it.
I love that.
So those are the main safety points. And then I'll show you the last thing real quick, which is the leash. We usually, so that looks perfect. We try to use like a balanced harness, something that's comfortable with wide straps. And then we attach it to the back. And so you can start to practice spotting, which is when they get to doing more advanced behaviors, and they're jumping off of something. Uh-oh. That's okay. I surprised you with the jump. But essentially, when they're going to jump off of something, we want to have the leash, like the little metal part, we're not really pulling on them, but we want to be ready to break their impact. Or sometimes if they're balancing on something and they're like, woo, and then you can kind of like catch their balance. So we start practicing doing it when it's easy, usually, because then later when they're on something that they really need help spotting for, they're used to us doing it. So you want to practice it on things that are safe. So that's kind of like the whole safety spiel, and I'm going to make a more advanced version of it, just free access for people so that they know. That's kind of the general idea.
Cool.
So thank you for filming that.
Yeah.